Латвии и скажу, вы делаете очень большие успехи. Я рад за вас. Пожалуйста, о ваших трудностях и ваших национальном движении за сельское развитие.
Спасибо. Thank you. Yes, I starting with Estonian case, talking a story about national movements, but I switch my role a little bit later. So as I mentioned, in the morning I'm a representative of the umbrella organization called Estonian Village Movement, and the name Kodukant is in Estonian language and means home area. I have been 3 years member of the board, but now I starting my voluntary job as an international coordinator because we change our leadership. But I will start with some short list from different associations in rural affairs in Estonia, not in my organization. We have several more. And there is just a list that at first I mentioned the Estonian Leader Union, of course, and Valdis already told about the leader approach. We use the same in Estonia more than 15 years already. And in Estonia, as we are a little bit smaller, we have only 26 lakhs, but Estonian rural areas is covered almost 100%, 98% of rural areas covered by leader, and this is the bottom-up approach which use the 3 different sectors as a cooperate the civil, public and private sector. Then we have the Association of Rural Tourism, which is an umbrella organization as our village movement is. And there are more than 300 rural tourism enterprises, and this organization is partner for Estonian government as well, and of course a lot of leader activities is related to the rural tourism. Why? Because in Estonia, almost on the area of Black Sea, you are talking about rural areas as agricultural areas. I should mention that in Estonia, agriculture is only 3% of Estonian economy. So the rural area means that this is not only farm or agricultural production, but a lot of other things, and rural tourism including this. So, but talking about agriculture, we have the Association of Small and Family Farms. We don't have very many of them, and small farm in Estonia means 60-70 cows, less than 100, because the average farm which is growing cows and milk produces 600 to 1,000 cows. And the bigger organization is the Estonian Chamber of Agriculture and Commerce, which is since this year combined organization from the agricultural producers and Chamber of Commerce. So they mixed the organization, and now they are the umbrella for regional organization. So we have the Association of Young Farmers as well, and young farmer means that it is up to 40 years old entrepreneur. And we have the Estonian National Rural Network, of course, as every country has in European Union. It is led by Rural Economy Research Center and belongs to the Ministry of Rural Affairs. But I should say very good words about this rural network, because they really do very good job and cooperative job with non-governmental organizations, leader union, etc. And there is one picture, I already showed it last year in Tbilisi, about the Estonian way to demonstrate. We don't go to the street. Yes, we did it 26 years ago during Singing Revolution, but now we just protect silently, and that was exactly a year ago when Estonian farmers settled 10,000 bottles of milk to the square of Estonian Parliament, and the 10,000 means that there were the lost cows, because the price of milk was so low. A year later, we can say that milk is 1/3, but expensive than 1 year ago. It's rise 10 cents per liter to the producer, so they achieve their goal actually. So I made a separate slide about another movement. It is called Back to Countryside, and it is very nice initiative by one NGO. And they started 5-6 years ago, and their main goal is to promote rural life, collect and share the information about living places, properties, workplaces, etc., and invite the urban people who already have a dream to live in countryside, to encourage them. They organizing fairs, and now they maintain the interactive website, and you can see the logo and the first page of the website. You can just click and found working places, properties, communities who are inviting new people to come to live. They are very, very successful. And now shortly about my organization. As I already said, the Kodukant, the Estonian Village Movement, is the umbrella organization and established 20 years ago. And what was strange that we had our first rural parliament before we established this organization. And umbrella means that in Estonia there are 15 counties or regions, how do you want to call them, and we have the local village movements or Kodukants in each county, and this umbrella organization is the big cover of or roof of this 15 county organization. County organization in same time have members from the hundreds of different villages, because I just put some numbers there. We have 15 regions, more than 4,000 villages. We have the village elders system. It means it came historically already. I think that the system is old 150 years already. It was cut for 50 years before 1940 to 1991. But it was re-established the system. Village elder is the person who is elected by the village community. It is voluntary work, it's honorable work, and nobody doesn't pay for this. We have more than 1,000 village associations. It means NGOs which are established in local communities, and they holding more than 400 village houses. And village house in Estonia means the village center, which is renovated or built by the village association. They don't belong to municipalities or privates, but the villages. What we are doing, our aims, activities, of course, at first to give technical advice and promote the networking between the people, between communities. We are arranging different trainings. The main thing is to act as advocacy for rural communities, and of course to support local initiative, not only not financially, but morally, and to give some know-how how to start with local initiatives. And the networking is the main word in this sector. And we're organizing different rural events. Some project we have as a leader, and we have not only deals but signed agreements with a free ministry in Estonia, Ministry of Interior, because they take care of civil society sector in Estonia, Ministry of Rural Affairs, of course, and Ministry of Finance, because under this ministry, and they have two ministers, and one of them is the reform minister and municipality minister. So we are dealing a lot with the municipality reform, which is right now going on in Estonia, and we are approaching our local municipality elections in October. And the systems changed totally, because now we have more than 200 local municipalities after this reform. After 15th of October, we will have only 60 local municipalities. It means a lot for rural life, and of course the local communities as well. And Kodukant, our organization, is a leader of organizing the national rural parliaments with up to 400 participants every second year. And we are quite lucky to have a support group in Estonian parliament even. And two slides about the Estonian rural parliament. I suppose you know what it means, the rural parliament, and as I said, we organized them already since 1996. And this is the big event. It takes place always in countryside, on small places, never in big cities. And it brings together local, national representatives from villages, from county organizations, politicians, international guests, etc. And it is a 3 days event, and usually in start of August. And the main aim is to discuss, to have field trips, have workshops, of course preparing period for this event, to create the manifesto of rural life. And then last time we have had the international delegations as well. Our last rural parliament took place on a month ago in August, the 12th already. And then we had 350 participants, different delegations, and it is quite traditional already that the first day there will be the president of parliament or speaker of parliament, president of republic visits and have a speech in this event. And this year that was first time where prime minister was very interested of this event. Spent whole third day with us, and he was on the stage when we give the Estonian Rural Parliament Rural Manifesto directly from hand to the Prime Minister and the Estonian government. And now, as I promised, just shortly, if somebody is interested more about the Estonian village movements, I have some leaflets and 4 or 5 brochures about our rural parliament. This is brochure, not the last one, but the Rural Parliament 2015. This is a lot of picture, and this is in Estonian and in English. I just brought a couple of them because now we're preparing the last one. So, and now I switch my role as a preparatory vice president and very shortly about the national movements for rural sustainable development in European case. And just the timeline of national rural parliaments, because this is approach or method, not only event, to bring together different people to discuss about rural issues and find some solutions, giving partnership to government, private sector, etc. And the Swedes are the first one who started with this event, this approach, this idea already 1989. I'm very proud to say that exactly Estonian Rural Parliament came or imported from Sweden to Estonia. And there is the list. I really hope that this is complete list from these countries which organized already their national rural parliaments. The Swedish Rural Parliament in Finland took place only twice, and Estonia, as a long-time tradition country, is the second or third. There are Slovak, Netherlands, Slovenian, etc., Latvians, and in this year there was the first Finnish Rural Parliament and Albanian Rural Parliament. So it's rolling like snowball all over Europe. And the last slide, the European Rural Parliament, the big event already approaching the third one. First, 2014 took place in Brussels, only one day big conference, And since 2015, the organizers, the last alliance, European Rural Community Alliance, Prepare a Partnership and the European Leader Association decided to take over the Estonian-Swedish model to hold the European Rural Parliament as well as a 3-day event. So now we are approaching, because it take place on middle of October in this year in Netherlands, and you are welcome to make some researches about this event in our website. And of course, if it's possible, welcome to participate, because European Rural Parliament doesn't mean that it's belong only to European Union. There will be more than 40 participant country. It means that quite several of outside of EU. So I think my time is over. Thank you for attention. And the last picture is not very good quality, is just the sentence that back to the roots, the best travel destination is home. It doesn't mean that I am really waiting to my travel to home, but on this picture you can see my village and my people in my village. It doesn't mean that I am working as an international coordinator. My everyday job actually is in a really rural area in Estonia and in my village house. Thank you.
Спасибо, Аннели. Вы знаете, друзья, можно только позавидовать. Я загибал пальцы. Село договаривается с министерством, договором. Сельский парламент, манифест сельской жизни. Обратите внимание, дальше о сельском парламенте я говорил. Если вы не обратили внимание, как называется министерство в Эстонии? В Украине это Министерство аграрной политики и продовольствия. В других странах там тоже Министерство сельского хозяйства. В Эстонии министерство называется Министерством сельской жизни, если перевести с эстонского. То есть вопросы rural development, вопросы сельского развития там действительно на первом месте. И это только, думаю, можно приветствовать. Я надеюсь, еще одно. Есть организация мелких и семейных фермеров. Мы в украинском законодательстве только ввели юридическое понятие с прошлого года семейный фермер, и теперь не знаем, что с этим делать. Да, ну так получается иногда. Вот, так что, Аннели, я надеюсь, что ваше приглашение останется в силе. И у нас есть, я думаю, будет очень много планов для сотрудничества в будущем. Спасибо. А теперь я уже перейду к своей презентации, потому что